Today we're going back to the 90s. I'm gonna make a Super Nintendo diorama that incorporates this miniature in-store kiosk along with these Nintendo action figures. After arranging everything into place, I'll take a photo to create a nostalgic piece of art. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? This is Dwayne Shoots Toys, and I'm really excited about today's project. Anytime I work on something related to classic video games, it gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside and allows me to relive my childhood. Now, when I was a kid, my favorite video game system was the original NES. Here's a photo of me on the day that I got my Nintendo. This was one of the happiest days of my life. Now, I've already made a lot of dioramas featuring the NES. I've done scenes with Captain N the Game Master and Mario and Luigi, all the way to the Golden Girls, and many more characters playing Nintendo. But I haven't done many scenes with the Super Nintendo, so I thought I'd focus on that console for this project. My concept for this diorama was to build an old video game store. I wanted to create a scene where the store walls would be covered with shelves full of classic Super Nintendo games. And in the middle, I wanted to place a Super Nintendo kiosk with a couple of characters playing a game. Before getting started, I needed to do some preliminary research, so I went on Google and looked up some images of some old video game stores to get some inspiration. From these photos, I got a feel for what some of the shelves might look like. I also looked up some old in-store kiosks to get some reference images for those as well. Next, I went on Instagram and posted a story asking my followers what some of their favorite Super Nintendo games were. I got quite a few responses, and I narrowed them down to a list of around 40 games that I'll make miniature boxes for. Now let's take a closer look at the toys that we'll be using for this scene. These figures are from the World of Nintendo line by Jakks Pacific. I got them from my local EB game store, which is the Canadian equivalent of GameStop, but you can also find them on Amazon, eBay, and a bunch of other places as well. I'll be using the Mario and Princess figures as the main characters, and I'll also put Toad in as a background figure. Sorry, Luigi, we're not using you today. Now I'll be using this mini Super Nintendo for the kiosk. I bought it a long time ago from a user on Instagram named RetroldTech. I added the cartridge and controller plugs myself just for a little bit more detail. This one is in 1/6 scale, and it seems to work fairly well with these figures. So these are the only pre-made toys that I'll be using for the scene, which means that I'll have to build everything else myself. And now that we've done all the preliminary planning, let's get to the building process. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is make the miniature game boxes. I've got a list of all the games that I wanna make, and now I need to find the box art for each game. Now, there are some websites like the Cover Project which have pre-scanned photos of video game boxes, so I got a bunch of photos from there. I was also able to get some of the images from Google and from some eBay listings. And once I had all the images that I wanted, I did a little bit of editing and arranged them into a set of printable templates. Now, I didn't know exactly what size to print them at, so I printed a few low-quality test images to help decide how big to print them. And once I decided on a size, I printed out all the box templates onto matte photo paper. You could also use glossy photo paper, but I find that the ink smudges more easily when I use it, so I prefer the matte finish. And it's easier to fold and cut. Then I proceeded to cut out each box. I folded them, and finally I glued all the sides together to finish the box. I spent the next several hours cutting out all the boxes and then later gluing them together. This part of the process isn't necessarily that hard, but it's just tedious and time-consuming, so what I usually do is put on a podcast or some YouTube videos in the background and then just zone out while I do my crafting. And I ended up with all these boxes. I know they're not perfect, some of them have little creases on them. I was rushing when I was making them, but I can fix all of those little blemishes in Photoshop when I edit the final image. And as a final little touch, I decided to print some tiny price tags and stick them on the boxes. Alright, so I've built all the game boxes. Now I'm gonna make the kiosk. I'll be using these images as reference, and I'm not gonna build one exactly like this, but it's gonna look pretty similar. First, I'll need to make the CRT TV that goes on top. I'm gonna do this with my 3D printer, the Creality Ender 3 Pro. I found this 3D model on Thingiverse.com. It was made by a user named Rabbit Engineering. This was the monitor from his Amiga A4000 model. It took about 8.5 hours to print at this size with the settings that I used. You can always change the settings to speed that up, but I like to print relatively slow to ensure that the model turns out nice. I didn't have any black filament, so I had to print it in white, which means that I had to paint it afterwards. So I gave it a quick paint job using some acrylic paint. And once that was done, it looked like this. I then printed out a screenshot of Super Mario World and glued it onto the TV. So now that the TV's done, I'm gonna have to build the rest of the kiosk. I picked up this foam board from my local dollar store and then used this box cutter to cut it up into several small pieces, which I glued together with a hot glue gun. And this was the basic shape of the kiosk that I came up with. I then printed out this gray paper and wrapped it around the model and glued it on top. Which made it look like this. I also printed out some graphics to put on the sides. Next, I sculpted some polymer clay to create the cylindrical sign that goes on top of the TV, and I wrapped a Super Nintendo logo around it. As well, I used some polymer clay to create some little covers for the controller cables. And finally, I cut up some plastic packaging from an old toy that I have to create the console cover. Then I put everything together along with the mini Super Nintendo to end up with the finished kiosk. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And now the hardest part of the project is done. All that's left is to make the floor and the walls. For the floor, I printed out this design onto matte photo paper and I glued several sheets together to end up with this. Now I just needed to make the walls. Once again, I cut up some foam board into several small pieces. I then glued some gray paper onto the largest pieces and then glued some little strips to it to act as shelves. It was looking kind of bland and I wanted to add a little bit more color to it, so I printed out some red and black Nintendo logos and stuck them onto the shelves. That's much better. As a final touch, I added a big Super Nintendo logo on top, and now all that was left was to arrange all the items into place and then take a photo with my camera. Here is the finished piece of art, a throwback to the 90s when 16-bit gaming was all the rage. And in case you were wondering about the lighting, I had a softbox providing some general light and then a couple of LED desk lamps to highlight certain areas. It was supposed to look like in-store lighting, so nothing too fancy, just a really bright scene. So there you go. If you've made it this far, leave me a comment and let me know what kinds of characters and themes you'd like to see in my future projects, and also head over to my Instagram page at Dwayne Shoots Toys and give this photo a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.